Today I wanted to talk about why it's completely okay to be awkward, because me personally, I am often deemed as an awkward person, and we'll get into that as I scramble this cube. So yeah, I'm often labelled as the awkward friend with my friend group, and sometimes I feel like, oh, that's not really something I want to be. And then I have a think deeper on why. Why is it not something I want to be? Because it seems like being awkward has been synonymous with not being a functioning member of society, or just not being as good at life as people who seem to know their way around every single social interaction. So if you feel this way, this video is for you. I've got a couple dot points here just so I don't go completely off track. And I want to start off by saying that being awkward is not an identity, okay? Everyone is awkward at times, but it's just a fleeting moment as long as you don't allow it to take up its space in your mind. Okay, now I think this is scrambled enough. Okay. Oh my gosh, okay, it is not scrambled enough, hang on. Okay, I think I'm happy enough with this. Right. Yeah, and you don't need to make being awkward or being socially anxious into a personality trait. So let's say you don't know how to stand on public transport, or you accidentally laugh at someone saying their dog died. Maybe it's not that okay for the person whose dog died, but that's just one moment of your life, right? It's not defining the entire spectrum of characteristics that you possess, right? And I've been reading Clarice Lispector's A Breath of Life recently, and it's made me think about how our bodies, our physical bodies, they're just vessels for our consciousness. And everything that happens physically is temporary, such as, thoughts. They're just temporary things that pass by, and they're only permanent if you invite them in to stay in your mind. And I think deep down, a lot of us have definitely felt like aliens before, or feel like we don't really belong here. How come everyone else knows how to interact perfectly with society? I think you're more prone to this type of feeling if you're introverted. Oftentimes, introversion, it comes with a lot more anxiety and just feeling like you don't know how to interact with your own body. You don't know how to be without feeling awkward. But I think being awkward is just you showing up as 100% genuine and authentically yourself, because you're not hiding behind any kind of facade or a mask to appeal to others. And partly I think that's because, as someone who is often awkward, I haven't learnt how to mimic that mask. But of course, I would still like to be someone who ultimately knows their way around social interactions. But this video is just to reassure you that a moment of awkwardness is not that big of a deal. You don't have to spend every waking moment thinking, oh my gosh, I have been so awkward in every single interaction that I've had this week. No, that's not really, I think it's more harmful. It's going to bring you more misery than joy, obviously. And yeah, I think being awkward actually requires a lot of vulnerability, because, as I said earlier, you're showing up as an unmasked version of yourself. You could say that some interactions could actually be enhanced by being awkward. There are some opportunities, interactions with strangers, where sometimes if both of you are a little bit awkward, it makes the interaction feel more genuine, right? In a increasingly AI-dominated society, where everything is plastered with this corporate perfection or this kind of ugly veneer, allowing yourself to have flaws and to show up authentically And I also wanted to bring up the need to allow yourself to be embarrassed, right? Sacrifice your dignity for that human interaction, for that human connection. I think being afraid of awkward situations sometimes binds you behind being able to let go and actually experience life and genuine discussions and conversations, or even those like back-to-back bits with people. Those are really fun. But yeah, I find it hard to be as effortlessly funny as some of my friends, because I think it's because I'm afraid of embarrassment personally, so I'm still trying to work on that as well. And it's not like in my mind I understand, like, life is not that deep. You can just do whatever you want and embarrass yourself. That's okay. This world where we have a lot more access to the internet, it feels like everyone knows just how to be funny. And that really, I guess it puts me off. I'm not sure how to be funny. And a lot of the time I just feel pretentious when, it's kind of awkwardness where everyone is laughing and you're laughing too. But it feels hollow ultimately, because instead of laughing at something that's funny, I'm fixated on my own isolation and why it's so much easier for everyone else to fit in. I'm making this video to let you know that you're not alone, and there's a certain kind of person who's more drawn to solitude than to hang out in friend groups. And that's not to say that I don't like my friends. Okay, that's absolutely not what I'm saying. It's that I think for me, there's just less to worry about when I'm alone as compared to in a group scenario. And that's okay. So this kind of moved on from being awkward into being alone. But I guess those two messages are sometimes tied together, anyways. And now the cube is solved. So hopefully I will see you next time. I really enjoy this way of making videos. I like solving a cube and talking at the same time.